and thank you all for joining us today for a new episode of Rec Chat's Elevate Your Path Officials Edition. My name is Stephanie Calhoun. I'm a coordinator for competitive sports at West Virginia University, and I have Heather here with me today. I'll go ahead and let her introduce herself, tell us about what she does and how she's connected with NERSA.
Hello, I'm glad that you all have me here today. My name is Heather Marshall. I am the coordinator for facilities and aquatics at the University of Central Florida. That is how I'm connected with NERSA. Before about 6 months ago, I was the coordinator for intramural sports and RWC Park here. So the majority of my NERSA connection has been through intramural sports.
Awesome. So Heather, can you tell us what you officiate and how long you've been officiating, at what levels, things like that?
Yeah. Currently I officiate basketball. I started in intramural sports in 2009. And then now I currently work everything from high school to junior college, NAIA Division II and Division I.
Awesome. How did you get started officiating? I know you said you started with basketball in 2009, but what sparked it?
Yeah, it's actually kind of that like perfect intramural sports story. I played basketball in high school. When I came to college, I still wanted to play, but didn't know enough people that wanted to play, know enough females that wanted to play. And so I joined a free agent team, and it was a team of current like intramural referees. And so they convinced me to come referee. And that's kind of how it started. And then for like things outside of intramural sports, so like high school, I actually didn't start that until I got to the University of Georgia for my graduate assistantship. Jason James was like, yeah, you're doing it. So that's where I started high school.
I didn't realize you hadn't before then. That's awesome. Yeah. So how have you been involved in the NERSA Championship Series?
In a lot of ways. So started out as a basketball referee at like a regional level. I think I was at the MTSU tournament twice. My guesses are 2010, 2011. So it's been a little bit. And then from then on, after that, was on many all tournament officials committees between basketball and flag football. Got opportunities to be in the director positions for all tournament and officials committee for basketball. And then also had the chance to kind of be on the other side of it and run a tournament or two at the University of Georgia. And then currently I'm on the basketball work team. So again, even another side of it. And then also had the opportunity to be at the national tournament, not last year because it didn't happen, the year before in Wichita.
Awesome. Yeah, lots of involvement.
Yeah.
So how would you describe your connection or relationship with other officials that you work with?
I would say that that's kind of like a really important piece within officiating. So a little bit of like two sides of it for me. One, I've gained a lot of like friendships, relationships. It's most likely what keeps me going at the moment. It's just that connection, that sense of belonging. You have people that support you, are rooting you on, want you to do well. And to me, that's kind of a big deal in a profession that's very competitive. I believe that most referees are competitive people. I'm a competitive person, but I try really hard to kind of, like, I guess, think of that competitiveness or gear that competitiveness towards myself and not necessarily against somebody else. It's not like why them, not me type of situation. I'm happy for the people that I work with, building those connections, and hoping that other people do well also. Kind of that second piece, I also think that it's really helped in my like everyday job, just from different like positions that I've been in or places that I've been. Georgia, I was at App State. And then coming back here, I've been able to kind of build some relationships with people early on through officiating, just having that instant connection with somebody. And we can talk about it. You know, I mentioned that I'm no longer in intramurals, but I still go to our assistant director of intramurals and we talk basketball very often. I know that I can send in plays, things like that. And so it kind of keeps that connection there.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think people realize how competitive officiating is until you really get into it.
Yeah.
So what's your pregame routine or meal playlist? How do you get ready before you officiate?
Yeah, so it's not an exact routine. I will say that as I get older, I do have to like stretch more, try to force that into my routine. Um, but if we're talking like way earlier in the day, or maybe a few days before, I definitely like to do some kind of research on teams that I have, um, just to know something. And then as for meal's a strong statement, but on the way to a game, every game, a Snickers, a Red Bull, and a Pedialyte, because it's all about balance. Got to have a little bit of both, or a little bit of everything in there. Set playlist, same. It's not like a real set type thing, but I do tend to listen to a lot of 90s country on my way to and from games. Although I'm going to really kind of blame that on my fiance doesn't like 90s country. I really do. And so it's a time that I can listen to it in the car.
Sounds like you have it down to a science.
Yeah.
So what suggestions would you have for someone looking to elevate themselves as an official?
Yeah. I would say one, work hard. So no matter what level you're at, what game you're doing, it's really important to the people that are involved in that game. So it's really important to like put your full effort in. So, knowledge of the rules, studying film, like giving every effort while you're there, working hard, make every game matter. And then I think another piece that I think it's talked about, but probably not as much, is, just being a good person. So a little bit earlier talking about that piece of like, it can be competitive, or you want to compare yourselves to others and things like that. And in my opinion, you get further by being that good person and working with your crew, working with other officials, and not against them, really.
Just a good life tip to have in your back pocket always.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate you joining us today. Thanks, and look forward to the next episode coming out next week.
Thank you.